This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Mike Murphy.
Thank you, Charlie, for that introduction. Yes, I am Mike Murphy, the host of the Good Neighbor Podcast. We bring local businesses to our neighbors to make sure that people know our local businesses, our service providers, the people that keep this community running, ticking, happy, and in this case, smiling. We let you know the people in this community, the business owners, as people and not just logos that you pass by on the highway and see them, their logo on the side of a building or a business card. Here in Union, many of you have driven down 42 and you see the Toothologie logo. Some of you are very, very familiar with Dr. Jason Ford at Toothologie. Some of you have never met him, but we're going to take care of that today. So without further ado, Dr. Jason Ford, welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. How are you?
Appreciate you having me, man. Appreciate you having me, Murph, man.
Tell me, for people who are not familiar with Toothologie, what do you want to let them know about Toothologie?
What do I want to let people know? I bought this business 3 years ago after jumping around in dentistry for 10, 11 years. And, I lived in Union at the time. Murph, me and you go way back, about 10 years ish.
Yep.
So, when I moved back up here, back in like 15, that's about when me and you met, 2015. I was working in another office and I bounced around to another office, and it was just time to do my own thing. It had been a long time coming. I thought about it for many, many, many years. And me living in Union and with this opportunity to purchase the practice that was in Union, it was kind of one of those things that was it for me. I wasn't going to let it go. And so 3 years ago is when we made it happen. Yeah,
it's worked out very well for you. Just, somebody who's kind of watched from afar, and I guess, every 6 months watching it up close because you are my dentist. I sit in the chair.
Yeah. You're always looking up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Feeling very vulnerable, but thankfully you're a good friend and a great human being. So I trust you implicitly. So there's a lot of, I know, like in this area in particular, people want to know, hey man, where'd you go to school? So tell us, where did you do all your training for dentistry?
So yeah, schooling. So I went to Bellarmine University, Catholic school in Louisville. So I started there in 07, graduated in 11. So let me go back. That was my dental school year. So I started there in 03. I graduated in 07 from Bellarmine. Right after that, I went to dental school at University of Kentucky. That was 2007. Graduated 2011. Right after that, actually, I did a year of extra training at the University of Kentucky Hospital. A lot of surgical training, a lot of root canals, a lot of medically compromised patients, a lot of sedation dentistry. So I did that for a year, and that's not required in dentistry. If you can get your license after your 4 years, by all means, you can get your license, but it's just something I chose to do. And then when I was doing that residency year, actually, I was working on the weekends sometimes if I had a weekend off in Florence at Urgent Dental, and that's kind of how I learned Florence and Northern Kentucky. I would come up here, I'd work a Saturday and make some money, and then I'd go back to life in Lexington that year. And that's how I originally got introduced to the area. I bounced around a little bit in central Kentucky before I officially moved back up here in 2015. And it was at that time when I was moonlighting up here. It's when I met my future wife at that point, my girlfriend at the time, who I'm now married to. And she was also a big part of moving us back to Northern Kentucky after we got married.
Okay. Well, speaking of family, you have a beautiful family. I've seen your wife.
Appreciate
I've seen
it.
the kids. So do you want to shout them out by name by chance?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So my wife, Amanda, we're actually coming up on 10 years married here in May, here in less than 2 months. So
Okay.
10 years married, been together about 13 years or so. So I got two beautiful kids too. So one, Tyson, a lot of you probably seen me rolling around with him. He's my budding basketball star slash soccer star. He goes to school at Man here in Union. Everyone sees us. He's almost 6 years old. He's in kindergarten. He turns 6 here in a couple of weeks. And then I got my love, my daughter, who's 2 years old, fully wrapped around her fingers. She's spoiled
Mhm.
rotten. She gets whatever
Yep.
she wants. And yeah, that's the people I work for right there, man. Those are the people I work for.
I've been there. And, when your kids become, full grown adults, when they become as big as you, or in some cases bigger than you, and you
Yeah,
have that
that's how the boy's
relationship
gonna
with
be.
them.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
so cool to have that type of relationship with your kids. You're at a very special point in time with your kids in terms of their development and whatnot. But someday they're going to be adults, and I've found that is one of the great rewards in life is having that relationship, that adult relationship with
Really?
your
Yeah,
kids.
yeah. Oh yeah. No,
Mhm.
yeah. It's nice being involved in everything they're doing. So
Yeah.
but if you'd have told me I'd have been coaching basketball, yeah, no, I'd have laughed at you. Or coaching flag football, yeah, yeah, there
Yep.
you go. But I'm out there,
Mhm.
and here and there, you're like, oh, that's what you look like not wearing scrubs. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, sorry, forget the
Yeah.
backwards hat, and
Yeah.
the yelling and the competitive fire. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. People don't recognize you out of context.
yeah, no, yeah, yeah. A lot of times people only see me like this too. They see me from
That's
like here
true.
up. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. Well, as a dentist, you would probably have to have a great smile, I would imagine, and thankfully you do. So, yeah, you never want to
oh,
cover
thank
that
you, man.
smile up too much if you can help it.
Yeah, too much.
So, aside from the sports and all that stuff, what do you as a family like to do for fun? When you get to take your vacations, where do you go? What do you do?
That's actually what we do a lot of, man. We've been
Okay.
traveling a lot, man. So
Mhm.
we've stumbled upon the magic of the JW Marriott, kind of a family friendly hotel. Always have kind of cool little water parks, and so
Mhm.
that's one thing we do, man. We like going to those. We've been to one in Vegas. With the one in Florida. We're actually about to go to Destin for spring break here coming up. We like going down to the 30A area, that kind of panhandle area in Florida. We really like that area, so we're going to Destin here in a couple of weeks, and then their summer trip. We're actually gonna take them to the Dominican Republic, to Punta Cana.
Mm,
So yeah, we're doing that
beautiful
in
area.
June. So that's what we like doing. Yeah, yeah, it'll be awesome.
Okay.
So yeah, family likes traveling. We like taking the kids with us. It's incredible.
Well, getting back to business, you're called Toothologie, a smile studio. So, a smile studio,
Yeah.
you're in the business of giving people smiles and not only making them smile, but making them proud of their smiles. Do you have, throughout all of your dental history thus far, do you have one or two Hall of Fame smiles you've created that come to mind that you'd
Hall of
like
Fame
to?
smiles. Yeah, we got a
Yeah.
few. I know there's one I can mention. Sometimes we're protected by law, and some of these people I won't mention
Yeah.
anyone by name. But I have
Mhm.
a really close friend. I know he doesn't mind, man. My friend Frosty Rucker, who's a retired NFL player. So
Okay.
you see him smiling around. Yeah, those are veneers that I put on. Yeah.
All right.
So if you
Brought
guys see
brought
him around
brought to
town,
you by
he's
Dr.
still
Jason Ford.
yeah, he still lives here. He's a good guy. He was drafted here. We're about the same age. He's a little bit older than me. He was drafted
Mhm.
here back in, what was it, '06
Yeah.
ish for the Bengals. He bounced around the NFL a lot, but he was here for about 5 or 6 years. Ended up retiring a Raider. But yeah, that's a good buddy of mine. And so if you see him smiling, you see him around, yeah, we'll call
Okay.
that one a Hall of Fame smile because he should be an NFL Hall of Famer, in my
Well,
opinion.
that's nice to know. Well, Bengal fans obviously know his name and
Yeah,
love,
yeah. And everything he's
Frosty.
done for the community and everything here, man. Yeah, yeah. Good dude. Great
Yeah.
guy,
Okay. Well, there's technology that comes into play in creating these smiles. Some of that technology I've seen up close and personal. Is there anything cool on the horizon in terms of dental technology that you're excited about,
Yeah,
or anything that you're
a
applying right now?
lot of stuff. So, of course, me, I'm kind of techie. You already know that, Mike. So I love
Mhm.
all the gadgets and stuff. So one thing that's really changed industry, I will say, is something called CAD/CAM technology. Really changed the game. So, there's no more goopy impression material. So all
Okay.
this is digital 3D scans. So it's a big part of my practice here.
Yeah.
If I don't have to use impression material, I'm not going to use impression material. With that, what you can start doing is you start doing a lot of in-office production and make procedures faster. So get a crown, you don't have to wait 3 weeks. With a spare part in your mouth, I can get it the same day to you in about an hour and a half visit. So with that comes other ways of manufacturing. Kind of the big horizon in dentistry right now is 3D printing, and the 3D printer that I have is probably the only medical grade 3D printer that's out there. And I think, the 9th one in the United States. So a lot of our stuff, it used to be, you take impressions, you pour cast and all this stuff. It makes everything so much cleaner. Okay.
Okay.
So a lot of our turnover time for some of these stuff that we used to have a lab make for us, we can do it ourselves. I can have it to you the next day with 3D printing. And it also takes that, and all of my stuff kind of speaks the same language, kind of Apple,
Mhm.
in a way. It's all the same company, so they speak the same languages. So they all integrate together. So when it gets to doing like surgical stuff like implants, everything is planned start to finish, with the final in mind. I already know what it's going to look like, and everything is produced here. And so it really makes everything really just smoothly start to finish. That's probably one of my favorite things I do is mess with my technology. But a 3D printer, that was my favorite toy. And here about 2 weeks ago, I actually just bought a laser. So I bought a hard tissue laser. So
Okay.
I'm still learning. I have to go to some training out in Denver here in a few weeks. But my goal with this is, things like smaller fillings. I'm going to use this laser for, because you actually don't have to numb the teeth anymore for some small fillings, which is always a big
Mhm.
buzzword in dentistry. Do I have to get a shot? Do I have to get an injection? Do I have to be numb? So if we can
Right.
start avoiding that and using this piece of equipment that I just purchased, um, that's going to be my long-term goal with that. I'm going to try to eliminate a lot of the anesthesia for some of the smaller procedures that we do. That way you don't go back to work, you feel like your lips in your lap or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah. Fortunately, I haven't had to deal with that much. I mean, you've trained me to take pretty good care of my teeth.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So, there are people out there who fear the dentist. You mentioned, people are wondering, do I have to get a shot? Or I'm sure you've worked on patients in the chair and you can just see their fingers
See the white
clawing into
knuckles,
their own
man.
sweat.
Oh,
Yeah. You,
yeah.
you just
Oh, yeah,
know.
yeah,
So there are people out there that won't go to the dentist because their
yeah, yeah,
fear
for
has
sure.
caused them to put it off far too long,
Yeah,
but
for
they're
sure.
reaching the point where they realize they have no choice. What do you tell that portion of the audience right now if
So
they just
there's
have a
a
terrible fear?
yeah, there's a couple things that people do, have phobias about. One that I've really found out is it's not necessarily fear of the dentist per se, it's fear of being judged. Say you
Okay.
haven't been to the dentist in 10 years. It's fear of being judged. What are
Yeah.
these people going to think about me? What am I going to think about them? And you can really just start seeing that almost immediately. It's not necessarily the procedures or what it's going to take, or the noises, this and that. It's a new person, they never met me, and they're going to run home and start telling all these stories about me to other people. And that's
Yeah.
not the case. One thing I really tell people is this is a judgment free zone. Okay. And I always make this joke. I say, I was born in Kentucky. Okay. No matter how bad you think you are, I've probably seen worse. Okay. How do we know
Right.
the toothbrush was made in Kentucky? Because anywhere else would be called a teeth brush. Okay. So once you realize that someone's not going to judge you, that alleviates 75% of it. I'm not here to judge you.
Yeah.
Let's figure out how we can get to a healthy place. And then once we get to a healthy place, if we want to start doing cosmetics and making things look better, then we can address that together. So after we get past that initial blockage, now we can start communicating to each other, just as people. And that
Okay.
solves 75% of problems. After that, yes, there is phobia of the actual procedures, noises, buzzwords like shots and injections. Oh, these you're going to use a drill on my teeth.
Yeah.
Buzzwords
The
like
noise
root
of a
canal.
drill. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
And when you really think about the environment that I'm working in, I'm really close to your ears. I'm on the. It sounds a lot louder than what it is, and dentistry's personal. I'm all up in your business. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so there is a phobia of the procedures, and like I said earlier with my training, I did sedation training, right out of dental school. And that's something that I've always kept current, and it's something that I've been doing, since then. I've been doing sedation dentistry, and that's been a big, big thing for a lot of our phobic patients.
Yeah.
And with our technology and same day crowns and stuff like that, people don't have to come back for a second unsedated visit. A lot of times I can get, you know, 5 years of dentistry done in 1 4-hour visit, and you get to sleep through it. So that's been a really, really
Okay.
big draw for us and our phobic patients. So when people start realizing there are avenues in which we can use, yeah, precisely.
Okay. And part of that fear is, if they don't know you, if they just know they have to go to the quote unquote the dentist, then
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
they're
for
not
sure.
seeing how human you are and how caring you are and non-judgmental you are. So a conversation like this, that they can maybe get to know you a little better and see the human side of
Yeah,
you,
absolutely. I know, and
that helps.
yeah, I have to do a good job as well. I live in which the community I serve. I don't get to run away to Hyde Park or something every day. So I'm going to go see
Hmm.
everyone that I work on, probably at like some school function or a
Right.
basketball game at Ryle. Okay, so
Hmm.
and I'm not one of these people. I'm going to wear a hat down over my eyes and pull my hoodie up. No, no, no. Come,
Yeah.
come talk to me. Come meet my wife. Come meet my kids. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not here to judge you. And once people really realize that I'm just a regular guy out here, yeah,
Hmm.
really
I
makes a
call that
difference.
the Kroger test. If you run into one of your patients, clients, customers, etc., at Kroger,
Yeah.
do you or they want to go down the other aisle and hide from you? Or do you have the type of relationship where you can walk up and do a handshake or a hug and have a conversation? So,
Yeah, yeah. What's there? We always walk up and talk. If I recognize you,
yeah,
yeah, you're getting a
you,
hey.
you,
Now you
yeah,
might be sending me like sprint away. I'm not sprinting away from you. I'm sprinting because my daughter's probably crying and is trying to
yeah,
steal a donut or something like that.
yeah.
So there you
Or
go.
you're late for a game or something. Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. There you are.
Okay. So, if people say, this Jason Ford seems like a pretty good guy, I'd like him to be my dentist. How do they reach you? What do they do? What's next steps?
A couple ways, yeah, yeah. So, website, we can make appointments online if you want to. So it's
Hmm.
ToothologySmileStudio.com. We have our phone number. Honestly, if you search Google, probably
Hmm.
dentist near me and you're in Union, I'm probably going to pop up on you.
Yeah.
So whatever you want to do, you can search us, but you can make appointments online. You can call us. A lot of times, yes, you can make appointments online if you have your info, but if you're looking for cost estimates on, exams and stuff like that with your insurance or, what fees are, the best way to do is to call us because we can get your info and we can put it into a database with your insurance and we can come up with, what your insurance fees are, before you
Hmm.
can commit to something. And so calling us is number one. Online appointments, you can email me. On the website, there's a big thing that comes right to my email. There's a number on there that you can text, and the app that I have, it just
Yeah.
pops right up, and I can get right back to you if we need to. But any number of ways, call, text, email. Calling's number one though.
All right. Well, and if they call you, they're going to meet one of your beautiful
Yeah,
staff members.
they're gonna meet some people up there. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
probably the number one person you'll talk to is probably Stephanie. She's our treatment coordinator. Wonderful,
Okay.
incredible, so knowledgeable. She's going to be running your insurance and telling you the fees. Uh, Especially when it comes to some of the more extensive treatment plans that we put together. So she's going to be your best friend and your advocate. Okay. Then we have
Okay.
Debbie. She's the office manager. I call her the drill sergeant. She's actually who runs the ship here. Yeah. So I might be top dog, but right there, we'll still call her general. So she's my office manager. She's
Yeah.
incredible. She's been in the business for so long. She knows everything.
Yeah.
Invaluable,
She's a friend too,
invaluable
and I have a lot
piece.
of respect for
Yeah.
her. Yep.
Invaluable piece.
Yeah. No,
And then
she does you proud.
wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. And then if you're going to get a cleaning, we went one of our hygienists. You're going to meet Ann, Callie, or Brooke. All three wonderful, super nice, super skilled. We'll tell you the best way for preventative measures. Going to keep your teeth clean, what products to use, how to use them, how often you need to see them. If you don't want to see the dentist, those are the people you really need to listen to as the hygienist because that's who's going to keep you in a
Okay.
healthy state. Okay, incredible. And then when it comes to doing treatment with me or Dr. Reynolds, you're gonna meet Rhonda, you're gonna meet Sam, you're gonna meet Amanda. Those are our dental assistants. They are really who steer the ship when it comes to your treatment. You know, they're tailoring it to you, getting your products together, making sure everything we need for you is properly ordered, and making sure that we're seeing you in a timely manner through your appointment. So that's who you're really going to develop a relationship with
Okay.
when you're getting your treatment as our assistants. And again, all three of those, you know, when it comes to the front office, when it comes to hygiene, when it comes to our assistants, all invaluable pieces, and they really, really steer our ship properly. I couldn't be prouder of all of them. They're all wonderful. I'd be nowhere without, you know, any of them.
Wait.
So they're fantastic. And then last person you might see is Danielle. So
Mhm.
she's who's making your insurance pay for you because they really don't want to. So she's tracking them down, but she
Mhm.
also helps out up front all the time. So you'll see Danielle. Danielle's actually Debbie's daughter.
Oh, okay. So she's that linebacker running interference and making sure that
Yeah,
you navigate through
she's who's tracking your insurance dollars, you
the
know, when they
insurance world.
say, "Oh, you didn't
Hmm.
dot an I here."
Yeah.
So that's who's doing that. So she's really being a patient
Okay.
advocate in that way.
Good. Yeah. Advocate's a good word. We all need an advocate. None of us know what the heck we're doing when it comes to the
Mhm.
insurance part of it. We're
No,
just fearful
absolutely.
that it's not going to be covered. And then when
Oh,
we
yeah,
find
yeah.
out that it is, we breathe a big sigh of relief.
Mhm.
So you had mentioned, and we're not going to go into this very much, but Dr. Reynolds, the reason we haven't talked much about him, you know, he's a new addition to the staff, is we're going to do a separate podcast, he and I,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
introduce him
Absolutely.
to the community. We're going to get to tell
Absolutely.
his story a little bit. And so I'm looking forward to that. So our time together is up here. You know, we've
All right,
spent our
man. That was
20
it.
some minutes, and I appreciate you taking time out
Yeah.
of your day. Probably
Anytime,
didn't
man.
get to eat lunch today. I don't know, but
Yeah. I eat on the
you're
run. Look like I need to eat.
right. Yeah, don't we all? Yeah, life's busy these days. So I really appreciate you taking time to just
No, I
let the
appreciate
community
you
know a
having me
little
as
bit more
always,
about
man.
you, technology.
And I really appreciate you, man. Everything you've done for me over the years, getting the word out, spreading it, always giving love out there in the community for us. So I really appreciate everything you do for me.
Yeah.
I know everyone that you work with also appreciates you. So I want to give you a shout out, man. So thank you for everything
Well,
that you do
thank,
for everyone.
thank you very much. And it's not over
Yeah.
yet. You know, we don't know where this is taking us all, but you and we're going to be hopefully in this community working side by side
Yeah. Yeah. No
for
doubt,
many,
man.
many years
No
to
doubt.
come.
Long
Yeah.
time.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. And I just want
Appreciate
to
it,
let
man.
everybody who's listened to us today um, go and meet the staff at Toothologie. They're on 42 in Union. If you need a new dentist, Dr. Ford, Dr. Reynolds, they're the people to go see. And I want you to just know that they are a soft place to land if you have dental anxiety. And I've had nothing but great
Appreciate that,
experience
man.
there. All right. Well, and I'm just going to say to the community at large, be good to your neighbor. And until next time, see you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Union. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpunion.com. That's gnpunion.com, or call us at 859-651-8330.